It's that time of year again as we get set for the 2014 National Lacrosse League entry draft. I'm Scott Arnold, live inside the Toronto Rock Athletic Centre as we are almost set for the Edmonton Rush to make the first overall pick, a pick that they acquired this summer by trading away their goaltender, Brodie McDonald, in exchange for that number one draft pick, as well as goaltender Tyler Carlson. Huge move today, though. This has been all the news around town. Johnny Pallas from the Rochester Nighthawks, superstar stud, coming off a Minto Cup win with the Six Nations Arrows and a Mann Cup win with the Six Nations Chiefs, has been traded to the Vancouver Stealth for a bunch of draft picks, one of them being the second overall draft pick in today's draft. So the Rochester Nighthawks will pick second, and the best regular season team, the Edmonton Rush, will pick first. So two of the top teams from the 2014 season have first dibs at this crop of youngsters. Also involved in that trade today was Joel McCready of the Rochester Nighthawks. He heads out to Vancouver along with Pallas as well. Again, we are almost set right behind us. Stay tuned for the 2014 National Lacrosse League entry draft right here from the Toronto Rock Athletic Centre.
Welcome, everyone, to the 2014 National Lacrosse League entry draft. It's a very exciting evening as we welcome all these potential new players into the National Lacrosse League. Good luck to all the teams. Good luck to all the draftees this evening. Before we begin, I'd like to turn it over to Brian Lemon, our Vice President of Lacrosse Operations, to go over the rules and procedures for tonight's draft. Brian?
Thank you, George. Our draft will consist of 6 rounds with a total of 55 player selections. In the first round, teams will have a maximum of 5 minutes to make their selections. From the second round through the 6th and final round, each team will have 2 minutes to make their selections. Each club will be given the opportunity to use 2 5-minute extensions at any point during the entry draft. The remaining rules and procedures for the draft have already been furnished to each club and will be strictly enforced. The league makes no representations or warranties with respect to the status of any player selected in the draft and reserves the right to void a selection in the event any player is selected in violation of the league bylaws, regulations, and rules. At this time, I have 2 trades to announce. The New England Black Wolves have traded Jordan Hall to the Rochester Nighthawks in exchange for their 11th selection and 28th selection in this year's entry draft, as well as their first-round selection in the 2015 entry draft. The second trade is as follows. The New England Black Wolves have traded their first-round selection in the 2015 entry draft, their third-round selection in the 2016 entry draft to the Calgary Roughnecks in exchange for the 6th, 8th, 26th, and 27th selection in this year's entry draft. At this time, it's back to George.
Thanks, Brian. It's time to begin the draft. The first selection of the 2004 NLL draft belongs to the Edmonton Rush. Edmonton now has 5 minutes to make its selection. With the first selection in the 2004 NLL draft, the Edmonton Rush select Ben McIntosh from Drexel University.
Joined right now by the first overall pick, Ben McIntosh, who went to the Edmonton Rush. They traded up their pick in the summer to get this first overall pick. When did they let you know that they were going to be selecting you?
They sort of let me know a couple weeks before the draft. They were trying to keep it as quiet as they could, but it was exciting, and I'm really happy to be a part of the Rush.
And what was the feeling? Obviously, you knew they were going to call you, but what was that feeling when you finally did get your name called to the podium?
Oh, it's exhilarating. It's what you play for your entire career, and so hearing your name called it's awesome. It's great.
very close to home as well, so a lot of family are going to be able to watch you play. How special is that going to be that Edmonton's so close to home?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely great to have fans there, have your family there, and it's something you hope that it works out, and it's not really in your hands, but I was fortunate enough where hopefully we can get our family and friends to make a couple trips out to Edmonton.
Perfect. And Edmonton, I mean, they had one of the best records, well, the best record we've ever seen in the National Lacrosse League. What can you bring to their squad next year to add to that?
Hopefully a little more depth. Yeah, it's a team, again, that doesn't need a ton of help right now. They have one of the best defenses, they have one of the best offenses, so hopefully I can bring some depth and help them out on the right side on offense.
All right, well, we look forward to watching you. That's Ben McIntosh, the 2014 National Lacrosse League #1 pick, the newest member of the Edmonton Rush.
With the second selection, the Rochester Nighthawks select Jeremy Noble from Denver University. The Minnesota Swarm are now on the clock.
And we are being joined right now by the second overall draft pick to the Rochester Nighthawks, Jeremy Noble. How does it feel to put on the jersey of the 3-time defending champions?
It feels amazing. It's a dream come true, and I'm a pretty special player and a pretty lucky player to be going to this great organization, so I'm thrilled.
These guys traded up to get that second pick. Huge move with Johnny Palace. Did they talk to you earlier in the day about that trade and say that they are going to be taking you at #2, or is this a surprise?
I talked to them a little bit, but they never said they were selecting me, so it's sort of been an exciting day with not knowing where I was going to be going, but I'm happy to be in Rochester, and it's a great organization, and I got a lot of players that I've played with before and played against before, and a lot of players that I've looked up to in my lacrosse career and have tried to model my game after, so I'm looking forward to stepping on the floor with those guys.
You've got so many tools that you can bring to the game. What do you think is the one skill that is going to help this Rochester Nighthawks team that you'll be able to add?
I think I bring a lot of things, and whatever they're willing or they're wanting me to do, I'm willing to do for this team. I'm going to come into shape, the best shape possible, and willing to do anything, and I'm just looking forward to training camp with these guys.
We've got a little bit away until training camp. What do you need to work on to ensure that you do crack the roster this year?
I think just have my stick in my hands as much as I can, and working out and staying in shape. But other than that, just come in and play my game of lacrosse, and I think I'll be successful.
All right, well, congratulations again, and behave yourself in Rochester. A few of those Peterborough Lakers could get you into trouble.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, that is Jeremy Noble, the #2 draft pick, the newest member of the Rochester Nighthawks.
With the third selection, the Minnesota Swarm select Miles Thompson from Albany University. The Colorado Mammoth are now on the clock.
I think they've had interest in Miles Thompson the whole way. He's a very talented guy, one of the Thompson brothers, and the Thompson clan, and you can see his highlights, the crazy talent that he brings, and I think they're just going to be thrilled to add the creativeness and the passion for the game that this guy brings to the floor.
Well, pure goal scorer for sure, and the Minnesota Swarm to me are such an interesting club the past couple of years because of all the youth, all the energy that they bring. It just seems that they are primed to take that next step and over the next couple of years really elevate themselves to that perennial contender status.
Yeah, I mean, they just keep loading up on talent. They've
Yeah.
got tons of young, talented players and size, and they've got a lot of good things going on. It's a matter of that group building experience together.
With the fourth selection, the Colorado Mammoth select Eli McLaughlin from Coquitlam. The Minnesota Swarm are now on the clock. With the fifth selection, the Minnesota Swarm select Shane McDonald from Brampton.
We're being joined right now by the 5th overall draft pick to the Minnesota Swarm, Shane McDonald, looking pretty good in all that Swarm gear. How does it feel?
It's a real honor. I'm excited, and it's great.
Were you shocked to go to Minnesota? Were you sitting back not knowing where you were going to, or did you have a pretty good idea?
I actually had no idea at all, to be honest with you. It's a lot earlier than I expected, but it's great.
A lot of great guys on Minnesota. They didn't have the best year last year, but they're building something special. A lot of young, energetic players. Andrew Suter leading the way. What are you going to bring to the table to the Swarm squad?
When I get there, I want to be in the best shape. I want to be energetic, and I want to put some points on the board. And I like to play rough too. So,
All right. Well, we're excited to watch you play, and congratulations again.
thank you very much.
Shane McDonald, the newest member of the Minnesota Swarm, the 2014 fifth overall draft pick in this year's NLL draft.
With the sixth selection, New England selects Mark Cockerton from Virginia. Edmonton is now on the clock. To announce a trade, the Edmonton Rush have traded the current pick, the 7th overall selection, to Colorado for the 13th pick in this year's draft and a second-round selection in the 2015 entry draft. And with the current pick, Colorado selects Robert Hope from Pfeiffer College.
Here with lucky number 7, 7th overall draft pick, Robert Hope, going to the Colorado Mammoth. Congratulations, my friend. How good does that feel to go to a team with a guy you're familiar with, John Grant Jr.?
Thank you very much, first of all, and yeah, it's a great feeling, obviously, to get drafted the NLL, and especially with Colorado. They got such great players there, and obviously Junior, he's a great guy. Really, he took me on his wing in Peterborough and really taught me a lot, and just being able to play with him and then hopefully play with him in the winter, it's really exciting for me. Yeah.
Danny Carey, another Peterborough boy, the newest scout of the Colorado Mammoth. Did you guys have a lot of conversations this summer about going to the Mammoth?
Yeah, we've talked a bunch, I guess. Not specifically just about the Mammoth, but different things. And Danny's coached me, since high school, so I guess grade 9 kind of. And my family's pretty good friends with his family, so it's real nice to be able to talk to him. And then at the draft, we kind of conversed about it a little bit, and seeing a familiar face, it's real welcoming. So yeah, it was good to talk to Danny about it. Yeah.
Myself and Steven Stamp, we called the Combine game, did the play-by-play for it, and you stood out to us. You were the first star. How did you feel out in that Combine against all these guys?
Yeah, I felt good. A little rusty, obviously. I just feel like if you're not on the floor every day, kind of you just get a little bit of rust. So the first little bit was knocking off the rust, but I felt not bad out there. A little winded. We only had 7 guys at the back, I think, but it wasn't too bad. So it was exciting to be out there, and there's always some great players in the Combine. So it was great to play with those guys, different guys, and it was a good experience for me. Yeah.
Speaking of doing the play-by-play, Pete Dalladay, who does the play-by-play back home for the Peterborough Lakers, he compared you to a young Brian Shanahan. Who would you compare yourself to as a player?
I unfortunately didn't get to see Brian Shanahan play, but I guess that's an honor. I heard he was a great player. I always compared myself to like a Scott Self from Peterborough, just to be able to watch him. And he's been, the last couple of years I've been with the Lakers, he's been well welcoming, and he's just such a great guy to ask any questions to, and a real understanding. Great player, great leader, great communicator, and just try to model my game kind of around him and bring the same things to the table that he brings.
Well, congratulations again, and good luck in the Mile High City.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
So that's Robert Hope, the 7th overall draft pick, the newest member of the Colorado Mammoth.
With the 8th selection, the New England Black Wolves select Quinn Powis from Six Nations.
Being joined right now by the 2 newest members of the National Lacrosse League's newest team, the New England Black Wolves, Mark Cockerton and Quinn Powis. We'll start with you, Mark. How does it feel to be the first ever selection for the newest franchise?
When you put it that way, it's an awesome feeling. Playing in the National Lacrosse League, something I've been dreaming of since I was a kid, and for it to finally be a reality, it's awesome, and I couldn't ask for anything else.
And Quinn, for yourself, coming off an unbelievable season in Junior A, what an honor! What kind of an honor is it for you to be selected to these guys?
It's a great honor. We picked up 2 good guys, obviously, and hopefully have a good season, and hopefully get a good chance at getting a good start to the new team.
And New England just announced the big retirement, Tracy Kluski, after 14 unbelievable NLL seasons. You ready to step in and fill those shoes?
I mean, I don't know if I could come in and fill those shoes right away, especially right away. But Tracy was an unbelievable player, and he's going to be missed by the league for sure.
And Quinn, you have so many skills, both of you do. But what do you expect to bring to the Black Wolves this season?
Hope to bring my offensive talent and look to feed the ball as much as I can, and I'll score the goals when I can and just be a contributor to the team.
And Mark, you hung around the table for a little bit with the New England Brass. Were you giving them a few scoops about who to pick next?
No, I mean, they told me, but I couldn't say anything. But no, I'm just trying to get to know them a little bit. Fresh faces, never met them before, but just trying to get to know them. My new coaches I'm going to be with for a while now, so just trying to get to know them, and they seem like really good guys so far.
All right, well, congratulations again, guys. Soak in this moment. Two newest members of the New England Black Wolves, Mark Cockerton and Quinn Pallas.
We actually have a trade to announce. The Buffalo Bandits have traded Rory Smith, Eric Penny, and the 12th pick in the 2014 draft to the Vancouver Stealth for Nick Weiss, the 9th pick, which is the current pick on the clock, Vancouver's 2015 second-round selection, and Vancouver's 2018 first-round selection. Repeat, Buffalo has traded Rory Smith, Eric Penny, and the 12th pick in this draft to Vancouver for Nick Weiss, the current selection on the clock, Vancouver's second-round pick in 2015, and their first-round pick in 2018. With the 9th selection, the Buffalo Bandits have selected Brandon Goodwin from Adelphi. Minnesota is now on the clock. With the 10th overall selection, the Minnesota Swarm have selected Joe Maricol from Six Nations.
Joined right now by the final member of the top 10, Joe Maricol, selected 10th overall by the Minnesota Swarm. Did you expect to go that high today?
No, I didn't expect it at all. I thought I was going to go later, like third or second round anyways, because I was a late registry.
Lots of talk around you going into the season. You had an incredible year with Six Nations, one of my favorite players to watch this year. What are you going to add to that Minnesota team?
Bring what I did in the summer, hopefully build it a little bit better, come ready for training camp, and get ready to go.
What's your game plan for the next couple months? Do you have a few things that you think you need to work on before cracking into the big leagues?
Just hit the gym, get a little bit bigger. I think mainly my strength, and I think that's about it.
Well, the Swarm are going to be phenomenal, adding 3 great guys so far, and we're not even a quarter of the way through the draft. Congratulations again, and best of luck in the future.
Thanks.
Joe Maricol, the newest member of the Minnesota Swarm.
With the 11th selection, New England has selected Rod Squire from Six Nations.
Joined with the 11th overall pick, following a Six Nations player. Joe Maricol just went 10th, and now Rod Squire 11th to the New England Black Wolves. How are you feeling right now, my friend?
Cloud 9. It's something you look forward to your whole life, and as a kid, and to have this day finally come here, it's a dream come true.
An unbelievable season as a team with the Six Nations Chiefs just coming off a Mann Cup victory. What is this feeling compared to that championship?
Obviously, it's up there, but the Mann Cup is definitely something we strive to and look forward to on the res. But I'm looking forward to getting this new chapter started and hopefully go for a Champions Cup now.
You didn't have much time to think about things. Man Cup ended only about a week and a half ago, but did you have any expectations of what team you maybe wanted to go to?
There was speculation of like Vancouver and the other Colorado Western teams, but the New England team approached me actually at the combine last minute, and I was on my way out the door, and they looked down their list and they're like, "Oh, we didn't see you," and we got a quick interview in, met the guys, and felt good.
So you're a beast out there, huge guy. You can run, you can shoot. What else can you bring to the New England Black Wolves?
Obviously, the past couple of years, past couple of years with the Chiefs, experience, learning from like all the other defenders, Billy D and Sid Smith, and you just pick up a lot. That's what, hopefully I bring that to New England now.
Hey, we look forward to seeing you play, and thanks for stopping by, and congrats again.
Thanks for having me.
Rod Squire of the New England Black Wolves, the newest member of the National Lacrosse League.
With the 12th selection, the Vancouver Stealth have selected Conrad Chapman from Nanaimo.
And we are with the newest member of the Vancouver Stealth, the 12th overall selection, Conrad Chapman. This must be a surprise to go this high in the draft.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm shocked. It's awesome.
You had an unbelievable combine camp. I think your stock definitely rose. Do you agree?
I'd say so, yeah. I don't think I was really on any radar coming in here, so definitely it's fun to get out and play in front of a bunch of people and hopefully turn some heads.
Well, you stood out to us for sure when you watched. What were you trying to prove in that combine? What kind of skills were you trying to showcase?
That I can play some defense and I can run. And that's what would translate well into this league. I just tried to show all those skills.
And with the Vancouver Stealth right near your home, not too far away, so you're familiar with the team enough. How do you think you can add, besides the skills you just mentioned, what else can you bring to the table to the Stealth?
Just hard work and smarts. I'm a student of the game. Just hopefully I can bring that to the pro level and hopefully help them achieve stuff.
Well, I think you're going to be one of the better ones for sure. You really stood out in that combine to us, and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Conrad Chapman, the newest member of the Vancouver Stealth.
With the 13th selection, Edmonton has selected Adam Shute from New England College. Buffalo is now on the clock. With the 14th selection, the Buffalo Bandits have selected Matthew Bennett from Brampton. New England is on the clock.
And we're being joined right now by the 14th overall selection going to the Buffalo Bandits. And before I even congratulate you, let's clear the air. You're written down as Matthew Bennett, but I hear a lot of people call you Matt. We need to know, because we're going to be calling your name a lot. What do you prefer?
Matt's good. Matt works.
All right, so Matt Bennett, congratulations. How does it feel to don the Bandits gear?
It feels... Can't even put it into words right now, but it's amazing. Bandits has always been one of my favorite organizations growing up as a kid, watching John Tavares, one of my favorite players. I'm comfortable with Dan Teat, too, one of the coaches on the team. He coached me in Junior A lacrosse last year in Brampton. So, like I said, I can't really put it in words, but it's a very exciting feeling right now to be in a Bandits uniform.
Tons of great players on the Bandits team. With all your skill, what players do you think you'll complement out there and make better?
I feel like a guy like Dane Smith, because I like the transition game too. He's a really good transition player in the league right now. I feel like me and him would work really well together. Just running the ball up and down the floor and playing D and a little bit of offense there, maybe contributing with a couple goals here and there too. So yeah, for sure, Dane Smith, one of those guys.
What's your plan in the next couple weeks before training camp? What do you need to work on?
Definitely going to be in the gym, working on my strength and fitness. I'm going from Junior A, playing with guys 21 and younger, to going in the NLL, playing against grown men. So that's definitely something that I'm going to have to adjust to, and I'm obviously just going to keep working on getting stronger and stronger as my career goes on.
Well, congratulations again. We look forward to watching you.
Thank you very much.
Matt Bennett, the newest member of the Buffalo Bandits.
With the 15th selection, the New England Black Wolves select Matt Crow from Dowling College. Calgary's on the clock. With the 16th selection, the Calgary Roughnecks select Tyson Rowe from Concordia University of Wisconsin. New England is on the clock.
And finally, we are being joined with a guy who meets my stature, 6'10", 250 pounds. There's all these small guys around me, but someone who can match up to me. The 16th overall pick to the Calgary Roughnecks, Tyson Rowe. Congratulations.
I think it's huge to be here. I'm super excited. I'm at a loss for words.
You had a great combine, played a physical game. The other guys sort of laid back a little bit, but you showed your physical style. That's obviously your number one skill that you bring to the table. Is that correct?
I mean, I have to do it. There's no question I have to do it. Being this huge, it's expected of me. And I was super nervous coming in, but I realized as soon as I got here that everyone else was nervous too. So I kind of just played my best, and I think I improved my draft stock coming here. So it was worth the trip.
You're physical, but you don't take a lot of penalties. How do you find that balance?
Playing for such a long time, I feel like I just got a sense for defense. I know smarter plays. I've never taken a lot of penalties as a player. I've just been playing it smart.
Well, we can't wait to see you play, and I can't wait to see the first picture of you beside Sean Evans. That'll be a good matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to be there, and hopefully I can crack the roster and make an impact out there.
All right, the 16th overall pick, the newest member of the Calgary Roughnecks, Tyson Rowe.
We have a trade to announce. Colorado has traded the rights to Mike McNamara to New England in exchange for the 17th overall selection, which is the current selection on the clock. And with that selection, Colorado has drafted Alex Bouquet from American International. With the 18th selection, the Buffalo Bandits have selected Tyler Ferreira from Dowling College. Edmonton is now on the clock.
And we're being joined with the newest member of the Buffalo Bandits, Tyler Ferreira, the second Brampton Excelsior to go to the Bandits. And right off the bat, you have someone to carpool with, but it must be pretty special being drafted with a teammate like that.
Oh yeah, being drafted with Matt Bennett, me and him have known each other since about 3 years old now, so I mean, going into a camp with him, it's going to make things a whole lot easier playing beside a guy like that. I mean, me and him are almost family, so we've been through a lot together, so it's going to be great to go to the next step together for sure.
And speaking of family, I saw you grab an extra hat there. Who did you just hand that off to?
I handed it off to my girlfriend, but it's going to be for my two little brothers. I got two little 13-year-old brothers at home, so they're pretty excited for me. I know they're at home pretty fired up right now, so they'll definitely be going to them.
Well, as they should be. 4 great years with the Excelsiors. What did you learn in that time, and what skills are you going to bring to the Bandits now?
Going up to play with the Junior A Brampton team, I got put into kind of a different situation there for a little bit. I started playing a little backdoor, trying to use my speed a little bit more for transition, so I think that definitely helped my game out, being able to know a little bit more on the defensive end, still having my offensive ability. So I think I'm going to be able to go to the Bandits camp, show my speed, play a little bit of defense, and play a little bit of offense.
Is there any current or former players that you compare your game to in the National Lacrosse League?
I mean, off the top of my head, no. But I mean, guys, when you look at guys like Stainhouse, stuff like that. I mean, those guys are all great lacrosse players. I get to play beside some awesome lacrosse players in Buffalo, like getting a chance to maybe play with John Tavares is just like a dream come true. I used to watch that guy when I was little, so I mean, getting the chance to at least learn from him now is just, it's going to help my game so much more.
Well, you have to get that hair flown if you want to be like Stainhouse, but congratulations.
Thanks, appreciate it.
All right, the newest member of the Buffalo Bandits, that's Tyler Ferreira.
With the 19th selection and the final pick of the second round, the Edmonton Rush have selected Tyler Melnick from Marquette University. New England is now on the clock. With the 20th selection, the New England Black Wolves have selected Josh Johnson from Six Nations. Vancouver's on the clock.
And being joined right now by the 20th selection in the 2014 National Lacrosse League entry draft. He is going to the New England Black Wolves. Josh Johnson, congratulations, and how did it feel to hear your name being called?
It felt great just to be a part of this and be here, and just to hear my name called is obviously something I remember for a lifetime, right?
Member of the Six Nations Arrows, but also played in the Sea Lacs where you just crushed it. How do you compare the two leagues, and how is that going to transfer into the NLL for you?
I think Junior A's is probably a bit bigger, or a bit faster pace, but playing Sea Lacs kind of helped me with playing with the older guys and kind of getting knocked around and standing up for myself. And it's gonna be tough to make the big jump, but I'm ready for it anyways.
And was there a particular team, obviously you don't really care in the grand scheme of things of who you go to, but was there a team that you're maybe hoping to go to going into this draft, or are you just happy to be a part of the New England team?
I'm just happy to be part of this, right? Just kind of coming in, just going to be grateful for whoever I go to, and I didn't really care who I went to as long as I was in, have a chance to prove myself.
You had quite the cheering section when you got drafted there. Who is all here supporting you today?
My mom, my dad, they always been here. They always been there for me since the start. I started playing, and my four sisters, one couldn't make it. My brother's at home, and I got my girlfriend and my baby boy here.
Well, very cool, and best of luck in the future, and congrats again.
Thank you.
All right, Josh Johnson, the newest member of the New England Black Wolves.
With the 21st selection, the Vancouver Stealth have selected Brandon Clellan from Orangeville. New England is on the clock.
Being joined right now by the newest member of the Vancouver Stealth, 21st overall, and we'll get your name straight. You get called Clellan, but what is the correct pronunciation?
It's Brandon Clellan.
Brandon Clellan. So there you go. Announcers take note because you will be calling his name a lot in the future. That black looks pretty sharp on you. How did it feel to don that jersey when you got up on the stage?
To be honest, it felt pretty good. It's always been a dream come true, and it's I'm going to take it for granted right now. So.
What was your experience like in the Combine camp? We called that game, myself and Steven Stamp, and your name came up so frequently, mispronounced a few times, but we've got it now. But how did you feel in that Combine?
I felt pretty nervous going in. Obviously, I was a pretty late entry, and I think I registered the day before, and I just kind of did what I could and just didn't leave anything on the floor, that's for sure. So.
The Stealth, they're making some moves. They added Johnny Palace earlier in today, so they're going to try and make a run. What can you add to their franchise next year?
Hopefully my strong defensive play and be able to push the ball up the floor. Obviously, I can, if I'm given the opportunity to run it, I can get it up, and hopefully I can put the ball in the net at that level. So.
All right, well, good luck the rest of the way, and congrats again.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, that is Brandon Clellan, the newest member of the Vancouver Stealth.
With the 22nd selection, the New England Black Wolves have selected Sheldon Burns from Dowling College. Vancouver is now on the clock.
With another New England Black Wolf. These guys are stocking up this year in the draft. Right now it's Sheldon Burns beside me, and Sheldon, when you heard your name called, what was going through your head?
I mean, a lot of nerves, obviously. Came here pretty nervous, but as I sat down and took it in, took a breath, I got a little bit more comfortable. So, I mean, it's a great experience, and I'm very happy to be a part of this new team.
You're joining a great group of guys. Did you have a chance to talk to any of them beforehand, or was it a complete shock as to what team you were going to?
No, I really didn't talk to very many teams before. Unfortunately, didn't get a chance to be a part of the Combine, which could have hurt me, but no, didn't really talk to anybody, so that was a complete surprise.
And why didn't you participate in the Combine? Just scheduling conflict, or did you just think that it was all right to sit that out, or what was the story there?
Well, I'm coming from school, and the way my flight was arranged, I couldn't make it in time, unfortunately, but yeah, it could have helped me, it could have hurt me, who knows, but I kind of regret not going now.
Heading back to school, will that affect you attending training camp as well, or how are you going to balance that out?
Not so much. I'm just student teaching now, so I'll be doing that during the week, and then wherever training camp is, I'll be attending. So.
Very cool. And for people who don't know you out there, what kind of skills will you bring to this New England team?
I mean, I'm a fast, athletic type player, a very, very, very good foot skills. I'm able to agitate a lot of the offensive players. So hopefully, if New England's looking for a hard-nosed defender or a transitional player, I could definitely fit those roles. So.
All right, well, good luck with the future.
Thank you very much.
That is Sheldon Burns, the newest member of the New England Black Wolves.
With the 23rd selection, the Vancouver Stealth have selected Dan Keene from Delaware. Buffalo is now on the clock.
And being joined right now by the 23rd overall pick, the third Brampton Excelsior to be selected in this entry draft, Dan Keene. How's it feel to put on that uni?
Feels good. You know, I'm excited. It's a great organization to be part of, and I'm excited to play for them.
As I mentioned, third Brampton Excelsior to be going in this draft already, and I mean, we're not even halfway through it. What do you think made that team, that Junior A squad, so special last year?
You know, they've had I wasn't a part of it this year, but the year that I played, they had a good coaching staff head to toe. They have a great mentality, each player. You know, we got a lot of tranny guys, good D guys, and obviously we've got some good offensive guys. Macker, I'm excited for them, so can't wait to see them playing.
And who do you think your game will complement when you do make it out to Vancouver?
Hopefully Dutchie. I know I've watched a lot of film on him. I want to just be a part of the team. I hopefully can just fit in somewhere. I'm just excited.
And in the next few weeks, you got a little bit of time until training camp. What are some of the things that you need to work on to bring your game up to the top pro level?
I think going into the NLL, it's a higher level game. I'm going to have to work on my off ball, moving the ball quickly, and just trying to see where I can fit in on that squad. So.
All right, well, we look forward to seeing you in that lineup very soon. Congratulations and good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Go UD.
All right, Dan Keene, the newest member of the Vancouver Stealth.
With the 24th selection, the Buffalo Bandits have selected Jordan Dance from Orangeville. Vancouver is now on the clock.
And we're here with the newest member of the Buffalo Bandits, Jordan Dance. You've won a Founders Cup with Halton Hills. You've won a Minto Cup with the Orangeville Northmen. How does this experience rank up with that?
You know, winning those championships are a pretty big deal, but this is something I've dreamt of my whole life. So it's definitely up there, and it's pretty surreal.
And Buffalo's pretty close to home, so you gotta like that. A short trip for the family.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes it a lot easier for my family and also myself, seeing my family a lot. And yeah, definitely being close to home helps out for sure.
Orangeville, one of the biggest hotbeds of lacrosse in probably all of the world. I mean, it's right up there. Everyone knows where it is. Who are some of the guys who helped you out along the way to get to where you are today?
I've learned a lot from Matt Sawyer. Matt Sawyer, he brought me into Orangeville, and he made me feel welcome right away. And I can't say thanks enough to how much he's helped out, but also learning from players like Jeremy Noble and Brandon Ben and Rob Hellier and guys like that also. It helps a lot.
So with training camp coming up, what are some of the things you're going to work on leading up to that to get better?
Just getting in the best shape that I can be to be able to hopefully crack a roster spot.
All right, well, we look forward to seeing you in the future, and best of luck.
Thank you very much.
All right, that is Jordan Dance, the newest member of the Buffalo Bandits.
With the 25th selection, the Vancouver Stealth have selected Jacob Doucette from New Westminster. New England is now on the clock. With the 26th selection, the New England Black Wolves have selected Ty Thompson from Albany. New England will be back on the clock.
And joined now by Ty Thompson, newest member of the New England Black Wolves. And again, they seem to be stocking up on draft picks here. What are you going to add to the squad to stand out?
You know, I'm going to come with my A game and go to training camp in shape. And I know a few guys that got drafted tonight, and Brett Bucktooth's on there. So I'm just really excited, and I'm going to bring whatever I can. You know, offensive threat, finishing on the crease, whatever it is, I'll do whatever. So.
A lot of guys talk about getting in shape before training camp. What kind of things do you do? Do you guys have trainers, or you just do your own thing, or how are you going to get in shape in the next few weeks?
Yeah, for me, I was at Albany, and we have team training sessions and workouts. So now I'm on my own, and so I got to do sprints in my own time and get good lift sessions in. Just be prepared and just get my body ready for that training camp.
And it's quite the atmosphere here. You came with quite the posse. Who all accompanied you to tonight's festivities?
My parents and my 3 siblings and my grandmother. So they've always shown support for me throughout the years, and so it means a lot for them to be here on this special night.
And was there, going into this draft, was there any team in particular that you were maybe hoping to go to, or were you just looking to get selected?
To be honest, New England definitely was number 1. But whoever picked me, I was happy because this has been my dream since I was a little kid when I'd go to NLL games. So I'm just really happy.
Well, we wish you all the best as you chase this dream. It's Ty Thompson of the New England Black Wolves.
Thank you, appreciate it.
We have a trade to announce. New England has traded the 27th pick, which is the current selection on the clock, to Rochester in exchange for Rochester's 3rd round selection in 2015. The current selection belongs to Rochester. With the 27th overall selection, the Rochester Nighthawks have selected Briar Jonathan from Six Nations. New England is now on the clock.
Joined right now with the newest member of the Rochester Nighthawks. Almost didn't make it over. You got stopped for a picture there by a young lady who came out of the crowd.
Yeah.
Was that a stranger? Did you know her?
No, that's my girlfriend. She was more excited than I was.
Well, I guess so. This is a huge moment. What was the feeling to be called by the Nighthawks? I mean, 3-time defending NLL champions. That's a great franchise.
Yeah, it's a huge honor, especially coming off a 3-peat. It's going to be really tough, and I'm looking forward to it.
With a close connection in Six Nations, did Kurt Stiers talk to you a lot this summer about potentially coming to the Nighthawks?
No, this is the first I ever heard of it.
Very cool moment for sure. Claude Fagg, when you were talking to him, mentioned your grandfather, Stan Jonathan. Don Cherry once said that your grandfather was so tough that he once saw him get a 10-stitch cut and didn't bleed. Do you add that same kind of toughness to your lacrosse game?
I might need a couple stitches here and there, but I'll be good to go.
What kind of skills do you expect to bring to the Nighthawks team? For people who don't know you out there, what kind of a player are you?
I'm more of a transition player. I don't like to stay on one side of the floor. I like to push the ball up the floor and make something happen, get the defense caught or the forwards caught, and just go from there and go to work.
Fresh off a Minto Cup, how cool was that going out west and bringing the Minto back home?
Oh, it was an unbelievable feeling. It's one of the best feelings I ever had, and especially being able to bring it back home to Six Nations, it was really something. And all the fan support that we had, and it's crazy.
Fan support is huge in Six Nations. It's huge in Rochester as well, and hopefully you'll get to hoist a Champions Cup with them very soon. Congratulations and good luck in the future.
Thank you, too.
All right, that is Briar Jonathan, the newest member of the Rochester Nighthawks.
With the 28th selection, the New England Black Wolves have selected Connor Campbell from Brampton. Minnesota is now on the clock.
Being joined right now by the newest member of the New England Blackhawks. They are loading up in the draft picks, the 8th pick by them already. Connor Campbell, congratulations. And how does it feel to be selected?
Thanks a lot. It feels great. Honestly, it's just a dream come true. You dream of that growing up as a kid, and to see it finally become reality is just it's a huge relief. So.
With all these draft picks, how do you stand out amongst the other guys who have been picked today?
It's a good question. There's a lot of young talent coming in, especially with a new team. So it just comes down to hard work. I got to start preparing for camp and get ready and just work hard when I get there and show them what I got.
And you have a couple weeks until training camp. What are you going to do in the meantime to hone your craft and get better?
Yeah, that's it. Just got to practice, hit the gym a lot, and just do whatever it takes to prepare.
And from the guys on New England that are currently there, who do you see yourself complimenting if you do get added to the team? Who will your skills benefit?
I would say Brody Merrill, but I think they just traded him away. So, but yeah, that would have been who I would compare myself to the most. You know, he's a solid defensive player, and he can push the ball up the floor as well, and that's what I try and do with my game.
Well, congratulations and best of luck in the future.
Thanks a lot.
All right, the newest member of the New England Black Wolves.
With the beginning of the fourth round and for the balance of the draft, Mr. Brian Lemon, Vice President of Lacrosse Operations, will be announcing the rest of the selections.
With the 29th selection, the Minnesota Swarm select Eric Giltonen of the Kitchener-Waterloo. The Vancouver Stealth are now on the clock. With the 30th selection, the Vancouver Stealth select Matt Delmonico from Seton Hill. The New England Black Wolves are on the clock. With the 31st selection, the New England Black Wolves select Mike Maudsley from Sacred Heart. Colorado Mammoth are on the clock. With the 32nd selection, the Colorado Mammoth select Zach Rogers from Providence College. The Toronto Rock are on the clock.
And we're joined right now by the newest member of the Colorado Mammoth, Zach Rogers. Zach, you had an unbelievable combine. You were going to fly home that night, but you decided to change your flight. How happy are you with that decision?
Best decision I've ever made. I had my flight booked for Sunday night. Just I wasn't sure, with the whole combine thing. I haven't really played a whole lot of box, so I didn't even know if I was going to get picked up. And I was happy with that. I was prepared to work in a camp. Try to be a free agent or something like that. But so this is an amazing opportunity. I can't even make words right now. I'm so happy.
And what gave you the sense to stay? Did you just feel you played that well, or were you just approached by so many teams afterwards? Or why did you decide to change that flight? What gave you that confidence?
It was kind of a combination of the two. I performed well in the combine. I ranked highly on the skills competition, and the Colorado and Vancouver both showed a lot of interest. New England as well, and they both kind of convinced me to stay. Say, hey, give it a shot. You only get drafted once, and so I'm just happy to be here. I'm just so excited.
And as you mentioned, not a lot of box lacrosse experience, more with the field game as an American, but how does that help you, and how will that transfer over to the box game with the Colorado Mammoth?
Well, in field lacrosse, I've sort of been notorious for getting a lot of penalties for being too rough, and I hear that that's good here. So I think that, I think I was sort of maybe born to play box lacrosse instead of field. Just my style is maybe more suited for the game. I'm more physical, and I was play close defense, so I don't get a lot of chances to show off. I have pretty good speed, so I think maybe a transition defense position might be what I was born to do maybe. So we'll see.
The captain of the Colorado Mammoth, John Grant Jr., he was up on stage with you. What was that like, shaking hands with one of the world's greatest?
I mean, actually someone had to point him out to me. I know the name, but we don't get a lot of box lacrosse, so I didn't recognize him. But as soon as somebody told me that's who it was, I've seen his highlights. Of course, everybody has. So just really happy to be there, and I just can't wait to play under him. Hopefully one day. So.
And you have a lot of family support at home. Talk about them and how they got you here to where you are. Obviously, they were there every step of the way.
Oh, they were there every step of the way, and I'm telling you, my dad's probably kicking himself that he can't be here right now, because he would take time off work and come fly out to my college games, and they've been an unbelievable support system, and I really wouldn't be anywhere, especially lacrosse-wise, without them, and I owe them so much, and I hope I can make them proud, and I'm glad I'm somewhere, at least somewhere close, so they can maybe come out and catch a game or two.
I think you've already made them proud, and good luck on your journey.
Thank you so much.
All right, that is Zach Rogers. Remember that name, folks. You will be hearing it a lot for the Colorado Mammoth.
The 33rd selection, the Toronto Rock select Brandon Ben from Johns Hopkins University. New England Black Wolves are on the clock.
And being joined with the Toronto Rock's first selection. It took a while for the Rock to get a draft pick in this one. They didn't have any in the early rounds, but Brandon Ben, the first to be selected by the Rock. How does that feel putting on that jersey?
It's a dream come true, honestly. Don't lie at all one bit when I say that. If there was one spot going into this I could have picked, it would have been Toronto 100%, and I'm just thankful I get to stay home, and especially being picked up by, as you can see, a bunch of Orangeville guys on the Rock staff, so it just means a lot, and I'm just unbelievably excited right now.
And we're in their training facility right now. They're doing good things here in Oakville. And have you had a chance to really get to experience this Toronto Rock Athletic Center while you're here?
Not really, to be honest. Just been on the floor and in the dressing room, so looking forward to getting to see the rest of it.
Had a chance to go over to the table and talk to any of the Rock guys as of yet, or is this as soon as they called your name, was that the first you got to meet them?
Yeah, that was the first I've met them so far, so we'll see.
Very cool. And what kind of skills are you going to bring to the Rock?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I hope can contribute a little offensively, maybe transition a little bit too. Just honestly, whatever they need, I'm more than willing to try to do that for them.
You mentioned the Rock is the team you wanted to go to. Who are some of the guys you look up to on the Toronto Rock that you're excited to suit up with?
Probably Garrett Billings, and Colin Doyle. Obviously, he played in the 2000 games, so just growing up watching him, and especially Brody Merrill too. My dad used to coach him in hockey when he was 16 years old, so I've known him basically since I was born, and I've just looked up to him and everything he's done. He's just a class act, and I've always tried to be similar to that and the way I carry myself and play, and that's probably what I'm looking forward to most.
That's a very cool connection, and we look forward to seeing you suit up in that Rock uniform. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
All right, and that was Brandon Benn, the Toronto Rock's 4th round selection, their first pick in this 2014 NLL entry draft. And being joined right now by the 2014 Most Sportsmanlike Player, member of the Toronto Rock, and also runner-up for the Most Valuable Player at this weekend's awards ceremony. So congratulations on that. It must have been quite an honor.
Thank you. Yeah, it was. It was great to be honored, especially with all the great players that were up there with me.
Not a lot of picks for the Toronto Rock in this draft. You just had your first one a short while ago in the 4th round, Brandon Benn. What do you think he's going to add to the squad, or do you know much about him?
I do. He played at Hopkins, great goal scorer. So, it is an adjustment from playing outdoors to get back playing blocks. I know when I came back from Virginia, it was tough to get back and put the ball back in the net in the small nets, the big goalies. So he'll have a challenge getting back to it, but all the great players do. So I expect him to be there, put the ball in the net at training camp.
Couple more rounds left. What are you guys expecting to add? Do you guys need some goal scorers? Obviously, the defense is pretty stacked up, but what do you think you guys need to get better in the future?
All the best teams have a ton of depth, so I think we could add players anywhere and just create a little bit more competition in camp, and never hurts. Or if somebody gets hurt, like myself did at the end of last season, you always need depth. So I'm happy with whoever we pick up, as long as they have a shot to crack the roster.
And that's been a huge talk, your injury. How are you feeling now? Are you ready to go again?
Yeah, I feel great. It's a long process, but every milestone you hit, you're just so happy that the next thing comes along. At first, after the surgery, you're just happy when it stops hurting, and then after that, you're happy when you're off crutches. And now I'm just happy. I just started running last week, so I just take it week by week, and hopefully I'll be ready, in a reasonable time frame.
Well, very cool. We'll be very excited to see you back. Lots of fans want you back in the lineup, and it's good to hear that you're almost ready to get back in there. And congrats on that Most Sportsmanlike Player award.
Thanks a lot.
That is Garrett Billings. And speaking of the 2014 NLL awards ceremony, here's some more highlights from that very exciting night.
And the winner is Garrett Billings, Toronto Rock.
All right, I just want to say thanks for the GMs and the owners that voted me to win this award. I like to play lacrosse, I like to live my life, holding my head high and not doing anything I'd regret. So I just want to say thank you.
And just before I announce this, I just want to recognize George Daniels and his staff for the first time we've ever done this. It's pretty fantastic. Well done, George. The 2014 Executive of the Year, come for the party, stay for the game, John Bean.
Wow, awesome. I was told 4 minutes, so I'll keep it to 4 minutes or less, but very exciting, and welcome you all here tonight. So on behalf of the Calgary Roughnecks, it truly is an honor to be recognized for this award. I want to congratulate Bruce and Kurt. You two guys are consummate professionals and both worthy of being up here with me, and I admire the effort and skill that you put in to operate your business and success both on the field and off, so congratulations to you. Lacrosse truly is a team sport, and it's a team sport on the field, and it's a team sport off the field. There's no doubt about it. This award really is an acknowledgement for the great team that I have back in Calgary that are relentless day in and day out trying to do their best to promote the game of lacrosse. Our job's really simple, actually. We deliver excitement, and we do it by putting on, and we focus on staging world-class events to create really unique entertainment experiences for our fans. And we've really focused on this, come for the party, stay for the game. That's a tagline that now is synonymous with the Roughnecks in Calgary. And people truly do come to the Saddle Dome, and it is about being with members of their community. It is about sharing a beer, and it is about screaming and yelling at the guys on the field. But it's the whole package together that we're really excited about. We're really fortunate the Roughnecks have superior leadership in the form of General Manager Mike Board. And he's got an able assistant there with Alana Mincho. And those two people sitting right there are truly the ones that operate the team. And they tap into, and we're fortunate to have a machine back in Calgary that looks after ticketing and sponsorship and advertising and in-game entertainment. And together, this whole team is what allows us to put on a product, and we're really proud of the product. Our ownership group looks at all our investments and all our teams as a community asset. And we're merely stewards of that community asset, and we take that very seriously. And we're fortunate to have a number of players that play for the Roughnecks that believe in community as well and give back to community, and that is how we develop the game, is by investing in the community. And if you do good things in the community will support you. And so we're really fortunate to have a bunch of motivated players as well that do that. So with Mike and Alana and the team back in Calgary, you know, our mission is just to fill that Saddle Dome day in and day out. We're pleased to be members of the National Lacrosse League, and we're very proud to be members, and we're really excited about the game of lacrosse, and we think it's moving in the absolutely right direction, and we can't wait to see for the next 3 or 4 years unfold. So thank you again.
Please welcome and help me congratulate the 2014 NLL General Manager of the Year, Derek Keenan, of the Edmonton Rush.
Thanks, Doug, and to the NLL for putting on this event tonight. I know it's the first time, but it's kind of special to receive these awards in front of your peers and colleagues. You know, I think I'm going into my 6th year in Edmonton, and when we embarked on this, I guess 5 years ago, we took a team approach in terms of ownership, Bruce Urban, Governor Al Riz, and our office staff in building this to where it is. And we're not that far removed from being, you know, the bottom feeders in the NLL, and we're certainly happy where we are. And it's not done without a team approach from top to bottom, and we've really built it together. With some patience and over time. Also, of course, the players. I mean, it's always about them, and we've built a real good group of young men, and hopefully continue to have some success and culminate at what everybody's here for, and that's to win a championship. Also, with the support of family at home, this will be I think my 11th year traveling to the West Division, which is, it's amazing how fast time flies, but that support at home has been incredible. And this past year, it's been a tough one on my family. A year ago, my wife was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and she was given probably less than 6 months. And I'm really happy to say that she's been an inspiration to all of us. She just landed from a trip to Grand Cayman about an hour ago, so she's doing well. And she continues to be an inspiration for myself and certainly my family and our team, and hopefully for everybody. And also, heart goes out to the Williams family, because kind of from a distance we've gone through this together with Tucker and my family, and certainly the support that we've been shown by everybody in the lacrosse community has been phenomenal. Thanks very much.
The award winner goes to Derek Keenan. Derek Keenan.
Thanks again. honestly didn't expect this. One thing I'll say is, does anybody find it kind of strange that Hazer's won 3 championships in a row and has never won this trophy? Mike and Kurt, congratulations on making to the final, and that's ultimately, again, as I said before, what we're here for is to win championships, and hopefully we'll get to that level. And again, I'll say the individual awards are really a byproduct of great team effort and great teams. So thanks very much for this honor, and thank you.
Now, before we present our next award, we'd like to take a moment to recognize this year's winner as the league's Media Person of the Year. The winner is Bob Chavez of ILindoor.com. Now, Bob, fortunately, couldn't be with us tonight. He is working for the Rochester Democrat and Chronicle and couldn't be here in person, but we congratulate him on the award and thank him for his contribution to covering the National Lacrosse League. Thank you, Bob.
And the Defensive Player of the Year is Kyle Rubish, Edmonton Rush.
Thanks a lot. I want to first congratulate Chris Corbeil and Steve Priola on their amazing seasons. I want to thank the whole Edmonton Rush organization, the coaching staff, especially Derek Keenan. You've been a true inspiration to our entire team this year, and you're someone that we all look up to. I want to especially thank my teammates this whole season, a great group out in Edmonton. And lastly, I want to thank my family for all their support over the years. Thank you.
And the 2014 Transition Player of the Year is Jordan McIntosh.
I'm sorry Jordan couldn't be here. I know he would be extremely proud. And you talk about being able to change the game at any moment. We've seen some amazing things that Jordan has done in the short time that he's been with the Swarm organization, whether it's taking face-offs or coming out of the back end or scoring even on the power play. So he's a unique player for sure, but a player with really high character, and we're proud to have him on the Minnesota Swarm.
And the winner is Matt Vince.
Thank you for everybody that voted for me, all the GMs and executives. First and foremost, I just got to say how honored I am to be representing a group of goalies, especially Kazi and Boldy, who I played with. I know how much time and effort they put in, and it was a reflection of the type of numbers they did put up this year. And again, congratulations on a great year. Next, I just got to say, how thankful I am to my owner and GM, Kurt Stiers. He had a vision, and the vision was one of a family type of atmosphere. And, Kurt, I think you were successful in doing that and creating it, and I'm just really, really thankful to be part of that vision. Next, you can't say enough about the fans in Rochester. That they're something else, and it's a tough barn to play in, and I look forward to getting back to that Blue Cross Arena really soon. Also, I want to say thank you to my coach, Mike Hazen, and his staff. Also to all our players. I'm really thankful to have a defensive coach, minded coach who puts together, a game plan to be defensive minded first, and all our players buy in, whether it's O guys, D guys, block shots. We call ourselves a wolf pack, and I'm gratefully honored to have each and every one of you as a teammate, and I think I'm accepting the award on behalf of all of you. I'd also like to say thank you to my family, my fiance Lisa. You guys are there every step of the way, and I couldn't have made a save without you. So thank you.
And the winner is Logan Shush, Minnesota Swarm.
So I should not be the one up here accepting these awards. I'm really sorry our guys couldn't be here. They would be very proud. Logan, what most people don't know about Logan is that he spent the entire year in his teaching job and many times was unable to make practices and still performed at the level that he did this year. The sky is really the limit for Logan, and we're really looking forward to everything that he's going to achieve in the future. But on behalf of Logan, thank you.
Before we go on for the most valuable player, I wanted to announce the All-Pro team. So first team All-Pro, Cody Jamison of the Rochester Nighthawks, Garrett Billings of the Toronto Rock, Sean Evans of the Calgary Roughnecks, Jordan McIntosh, Minnesota Swarm, Kyle Rubish, Edmonton Rush, and Matt Vince, goaltender of the year. That's the first team All-Pro. Second team is Dane Doby, Adam Jones, Curtis Dixon, Brody Merrill, Chris Corbeil, and Aaron Bold. So congratulations to all of them. And without further ado, the nominees for Most Valuable Player of the Year. Okay, Most Valuable Player, Cody Jamison, Rochester Nighthawks.
Thanks for everybody. I'm going to pretend like I'm reading off one of these. And so I'd like to thank my, first and foremost, my family, my mom and my dad, for everything. I've been playing lacrosse since I was 3 years old, so it's been a long time, and there was a lot of mornings and a lot of nights that they would wake up and play or take me to my games and everything. My girlfriend Michelle, we had our first child this year, so thank you for that. The team, Kurt, for having that vision that Vino already talked about. I'm thankful to be a part of it, obviously, and we had some good times, and looking forward to keeping those going. My teammates, you hear everybody say it. You don't win individual awards without a great team, and that holds true for myself. I pass the ball and they put it in the net, and vice versa. So. You're nothing without your teammates, and real proud of, them, and wish they were here. And thank you everybody else who I missed. Thanks.
I'm being joined right now by the two luckiest people at this draft, two Edmonton Rush fans. And first off, what are your names? And we'll get you to spell that for our director there so you can put the graphic on.
It's Peter Laird, Laird.
And your name?
Miranda.
And how did you guys end up here tonight? You guys were up there presenting the first overall draft pick for the Rush.
Yeah, it was quite the honor for us. Lucky that the Rush drew our name. They had a contest for season ticket holders, and we're lucky enough to get it. It's a great honor for us to come out here and be able to present it to our new player.
And how did it feel for you going up there and being a part of history as Edmonton selected that first overall pick?
It was really special, unique opportunity, and I really enjoyed it.
And are you guys just here for the night, or what's the deal?
Oh yeah, it's a quick trip. Out early this morning, and then we're back out early tomorrow morning back home. She can only miss so much school.
Oh, he's not going to give you the week off out of school?
No, too bad.
Unbelievable. And these guys, of course, are the contest winners through a major sponsor of the Edmonton Rush, Jamin. And how many people were in this contest, and how did you guys get entered, or do you know those details?
Not quite. Well, I guess every season ticket holder was, and that's how we are. We're their fifth-year season holders, and so you know what, got to be 10,000 or better, I would think, as far as their base.
And how long have you been an Edmonton Rush fan?
Well, since I started playing lacrosse, which is 5 years, so ever since then.
So who do you play for out in Edmonton?
I play for the Sherwood Park Titans in Bantam.
Very cool. Well, thanks for taking the time to stop by, and enjoy the rest of the experience, guys.
Thank you very much.
All right, the two luckiest fans at this National Lacrosse League draft, the only fans here in attendance, the contest winners through Jamin out of the Edmonton Rush organization, and what a thrill for them as we get back to the NLL draft.
With the 34th selection, the New England Black Wolves select Jason Crawford from Brampton. The Edmonton Rush are on the clock.
And the draft picks of the New England Black Wolves keep rolling in here. The latest one, Jason Crawford, congratulations. What goes through your mind when you hear your name finally getting called on that podium?
I tell you, it sends a chill down your spine. And when it was called, you know, I was real excited. I walked up there and a dream come true, you know. I watched the NLL growing up, and it's going to be a lot of fun playing for a new team.
Did you have any expectations coming in here? Did you want to go higher, or did you think you'd go lower, or what did you think coming in?
It's hard to know what to expect. There's a lot of good players out there. A lot of them my buddies actually, and tough competition. But I was glad to be picked up anyway.
You mentioned you've been a big fan of the NLL and you've watched it a long time. Who are some of the guys you look up to and try to emulate your game after?
Oh, that's a tough one. There's Jim Veltman, the loose ball king, and Kevin Dance was a coach of mine growing up, and he was a gritty player. But I'm a defensive kind of guy, transition, like to run the ball, but lots of guys in the NLL that were good like that.
New England's stacking up. You're their 9th draft pick so far this year. They're making a lot of trades to get all these draft picks. How do you stand out from the rest of the pack? What kind of skills are you going to really showcase in training camp?
Again, it's going to be tough, but I'm going to have to show some speed, and I'm going to have to show some defensive awareness. So it's going to be tough, but I'm looking forward for the task.
All right, well, we wish you all the best. Good luck.
Thank you, Scott.
All right, Jason Crawford, the newest member of the New England Black Wolves.
With the 35th selection, the Edmonton Rush select Matt McCroddy from Bryant University. The Calgary Roughnecks are on the clock. Selection, the Calgary Roughnecks select Pat Henry from Calgary Mountaineers. The Rochester Nighthawks are on the clock.
Joined right now by the latest draft pick of the Calgary Roughnecks, Pat Henry. And Pat, tell us about the feeling going up onto that podium and putting on the Roughnecks gear.
Oh, I mean, it's awesome. I've never had a feeling like this in my life, so I can't stop smiling. It's awesome.
Any expectations coming into this of where you were going to go in the draft, or did you just sort of come in and just relax and wait for your name to be called?
I didn't really expect much. I talked to Calgary and New England going into it, but I thought Calgary probably would pick me since I live there, and it's a lot closer, so yeah, that's where I thought I would go.
Lots of family and friends are going to be able to see you when you do crack that lineup. Talk about what they've been like in your career and getting to where you are today.
Oh, they've been so supportive. I mean, coming to my games, just letting me know, like, go hard, and it's awesome to, if I make the squad, to be able to come and watch me, so I would love that.
A couple weeks till training camp. What do you have to work on to try and crack that squad sooner than later?
Definitely get a little bit more cardio in. During that fitness testing, it was a little bit hard, so be on the treadmill as soon as I get home.
All right, well, we'll be looking forward to seeing you in action real soon, and good luck.
Hey, awesome. Thanks a lot.
All right, Pat Henry, the newest member of the Calgary Roughnecks.
With the 37th selection, the Rochester Nighthawks select Ian Martin from Six Nations. The Minnesota Swarm are on the clock.
And joined right now by the newest member of the Rochester Nighthawks, Ian Martin, another Six Nations connection. Rochester very close to you guys. Kurt Steyer's obviously a huge connection as well. Must be a special feeling going to that organization.
Yeah, it's a real honor to be a part of the organization. Like you said, they take a lot of guys from the reserve. I'm just really thankful to be part of that group and that family. As everyone knows, they're a really good organization, and they treat their players really well, and I'm really excited to be a part of them.
Complete surprise to go there, or do you sort of have a hunch of who was going to be selecting you this year?
I had a hunch going into the draft, but as it went on, I seen that players were going all over, so then I start second guessing where I was going to go.
And how would you describe your style of play, and what are you going to bring to the Nighthawks?
My strong point in my game is playmaking. I see the floor fairly well. I can hit the open guy, and when need be, I can put the ball in the net.
Lots of great players on that Rochester Nighthawks team. Who are you excited to suit up with?
Oh man, there's all of them, really. They're all superstars in my books. They all won, a majority of them won 3 NLL titles in a row, and yeah, it's a pretty big deal when an NLL team can do it back-to-back years. So yeah, I don't know. I hope I'm not too starstruck when the season starts.
Well, I'm sure you'll fit right in fine. This is a big task ahead of you to crack that lineup, but from what we've seen, I think you'll be able to get in there sooner than later. Congratulations and good luck.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
All right, Ian Martin, the newest member of the Rochester Nighthawks.
With the 38th selection, the Minnesota Swarm select Pat Miles from New England College. The Vancouver Stealth are on the clock.
Being joined right now by the newest member of the Minnesota Swarm, Pat Miles, and it's got to be a good feeling going to this Swarm team. They've been rebuilding the last little while, but I think they have all the pieces now.
Oh yeah, it's words can't describe how I feel right now. I play with a lot of guys this year on Oakville that are on Minnesota, and I also have some friends that are out there too. So I'm really happy to be out here, to be honest.
You have to be a step ahead of the game. I mean, playing with the Oakville Rock, these guys were pretty good. Didn't have the best record, but a lot of one-goal games. You guys put it all on the line. What did you learn from that past year?
It's tough. It's always tough to learn how to lose, but we're a young team, and we are rebuilding. It's only the second year that they've been here, so I think we'll be all right. And, we learned what it takes. Right? We took Peterborough 1 goal. We took the Brooklyns to 1 game. And, the teams that were top, we always took them to a battle. So.
And what are you going to bring to the Minnesota Swarm skill-wise? They're a run-and-gun team, a lot of young, energetic players. What is your standout skills?
I'm a run-and-gun type of guy, so I think I can bring that a little bit more back up to that. But, whatever they need me to do, I'll be able to do that for them. So.
All right, well, good luck on the journey.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Pat Miles of the Minnesota Swarm.
With the 39th selection, the Vancouver Stealth select DJ Sari from Nanaimo. The New England Black Wolves are on the clock. We have a trade to announce. The Minnesota Swarm have traded Jay Card to the New England Black Wolves for the 40th selection. With that selection, the Minnesota Swarm have selected Paxton LaRue from Peterborough. Colorado Mammoth are on the clock. With the 41st selection, the Colorado Mammoth select DJ Giacabo from Canisius College. As well, with the 42nd selection, also with the Colorado Mammoth, they select Terry Ellis from the University of Denver. The Toronto Rock is on the clock.
And being joined right now by Colorado Mammoth goaltender Dylan Ward. And Dylan, what are your thoughts on the draft so far, and what do you think of the guys you picked?
Yeah, it's been a pretty exciting draft. I feel like there's been a lot more trades than there usually are, but I'm excited with who we picked up in Colorado, and it's going to make camp a lot more interesting. I think the competition level is going to go up tenfold.
Newest member of the scouting staff, Dan Carey, former player. Talk about him for a little bit and how good that is to have him on board scouting these guys out.
Yeah, Dan Carey is one of the guys I watched a lot growing up. He was a really exciting player, and to be able to have his kind of expertise in out east scouting guys, it's awesome to have him. I'm sure his expertise will help us out a lot.
You're in the running for Rookie of the Year, lost out to Logan Schuss, but you were here for that awards ceremony. What was that experience like? They've never done this before, but I was here, and it seemed like a pretty good do.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was awesome to be in the same room as all the players that were here, right? Like, especially the goalies, the goalies who were up for Goalie of the Year. All 3 of them are guys I've looked up to since I was in minor, and to be able to be here and be a part of this is really humbling. And even though I didn't win, I was really honored to be nominated for Rookie of the Year, and then be able to be named to the rookie team, all rookie team was pretty special.
Very cool, and something that was really special, if we bring it all the way back to the summer, winning a gold with Team Canada in Denver, where you play for the Mammoth. Talk about that moment, beating Team USA in the finals.
Yeah, that's definitely probably one of the highlights of my career so far, and it was unbelievable to be able to win with the guys that we had, and to be able to represent our nation the way we did and beat the U.S. team that it was favored over us by so much it was something that I'll never forget.
What are you expecting, if we go back to the Mammoth for a bit, what are you expecting out of the 2015 season? What do you guys have to piece together to go on a good run this year?
Last year it was an up and down year, and you could see towards the end of the year we were starting to come into our own, and we kind of found our identity a little bit. I think this year we're gonna have to continue on that trend of finding our identity and showing everyone what we're capable of, and just piecing everything together on defense, offense, in the net, coaches, trainers, everything. We just got to put it all together.
Took a while for them to name John Grant Jr. the captain. He's been around the league forever, but didn't get a chance to wear the C until last year. And he was also an assistant coach during that Team Canada run. Talk about his leadership skills for the Mammoth.
Oh, he's the best. He's someone you can look up to. I've looked up to, and he's a guy. He's really easy to talk to. He's a really down-to-earth guy, and he leads by example. And when he has to say something, he says it. And when he's talking, everyone's listening. So he's an unbelievable leader, and it's awesome to have him as our captain.
And for you, what do you want to focus on to improve your game going into the 2015 season?
Yeah, so last year I feel like each game I was getting a little bit stronger, and I want to keep that trend going. I don't want to take any steps back, and the dreaded sophomore slump. I don't want to get stuck in that. So I just want to come into camp, work hard, and every time I'm on the floor, I just want to get better.
Well, we wish you all the best, and thanks for taking the time. We know it's a busy night for you.
Oh, thanks, no problem.
All right, Dylan Ward, goaltender of the Colorado Mammoth.
With the 43rd selection, the Toronto Rock select Jordan Robertson from Whitby. The Edmonton Rush are now on the clock. With the 44th selection, the Edmonton Rush select Chad Mitchell from Bellarmine University. The Calgary Roughnecks are on the clock. With the 45th selection, the Calgary Roughnecks select Cam Gardner from Bellarmine University. The Rochester Nighthawks are on the clock. With the 46th selection, the Rochester Nighthawks select Anthony Patterson from Six Nations. The Edmonton Rush are now on the clock. With the 47th selection, the Edmonton Rush select Mitch McAvoy from Mercyhurst. The Vancouver Stealth are on the clock. With the 48th selection, the Vancouver Stealth select Steve Ferdinandi from New Westminster. The Buffalo Bandits are on the clock as New England has traded their 49th selection to Buffalo in exchange for a 6th-round selection in 2016.
And we're being joined right now with somebody who looks a lot different right now, rocking the Vancouver Stealth gear. He was moved from the Rochester Nighthawks this morning in a huge blockbuster deal. How did you find out about the trade when you woke up today, or did you already know about it before you went to bed?
I knew they were going to trade me, but I didn't know where I was going, and I got a phone call this morning, so I was going to Vancouver.
Yeah, did they sit down and talk to you and ask kind of your thoughts of where you wanted to go, or did you just have kind of the thought that you were going to be traded?
I just kind of thought, they didn't really say where.
Yeah. Vancouver, really good team, a good squad that's certainly rebuilding, adding yourself there. What do you think you're going to be able to contribute to that team to make them better?
I'm just going to work hard and hopefully help them win some games.
Talk about your experience in Rochester. I mean, your first 3 years, you won the Champions Cup back to back to back, and there's obviously no hard feelings leaving Rochester, is there?
No, there's no hard feelings. I really enjoyed my 3 years with Rochester, and I'm looking forward to this new opportunity in Vancouver.
A lot of friends you're leaving behind in Rochester, but hey, it's time to start a new adventure for sure. We'll talk about the Six Nations Arrows, your final year there, raising the Minto Cup. What a monkey off your back being able to hoist that trophy in your last year as junior.
Yeah, it was a dream come true, and even the CXL guys drafted today, I'm really proud of them.
And I mean, you almost cracked the 100-point barrier in just the playoffs alone. I think you were 2 points shy. You either had 98 points or 93 points. Did you know you were that close to getting into triple digits, or was that even on your mind?
No, that wasn't on my mind. All I was thinking about was trying to win that Minto Cup.
It was unbelievable. Most guys don't score that in their career, but you had that in the playoffs. And we just want to thank you for taking the time, and best of luck in your new home in Vancouver. That uniform looks pretty sharp.
Thank you.
Johnny Pallas, the newest member of the Vancouver Stealth.
With the 49th selection, the Buffalo Bandits select Mike Mayanchenko from Chestnut Hill. The Colorado Mammoth are on the clock.
And being joined right now by the latest member of the Buffalo Bandits, Mike Melnichenko. Congratulations, sir. That Bandits logo looks awfully good.
Yeah, thank you. I think it looks all right. Looking forward to it.
What kind of skills are you going to bring to this Bandit squad? They've got a lot of pieces in place right now, and they should be going on a good run this year.
Yeah, hopefully just hoping to get in there, get people open, different. Like I was lucky enough to play with someone like Willie when I was with Brooklyn, and then Banesh over in Kitchener after the trade. It's just, kind of adapting to their play styles and hopefully just get anyone open so they can put the ball in the net.
We'll talk about that trade over to the Kodiaks. Were you kind of blindsided by that, or is that something that had been talked about before you were moved?
No, yeah, I was completely blindsided by that. I thought I was a member of the Redmen, then I got a call and dished over with my buddy Joel for Poulin. I don't know, it's all right though. Good team to play for. Played in front of Dietrich, but yeah, I was blindsided though. It was definitely news to me when it happened, but I'm happy with it.
Yeah, the rest of the year you fit in good. Like you said, you got to learn from guys like Benny Boy. He's a great leader out there. Talk about some of the guys, though, growing up that you maybe looked up to that either are former players or current players. Who do you try to emulate your game after?
Growing up, I was ball boy for St. Catharines. I got to watch Steinhaus and Billy D and all of them play growing up, so it's going to be fun seeing them. But I guess I based my game off of Joel McCready, I guess. I was good friends with his brother growing up, and I think we play a similar game.
Very cool. What skills do you need to work on to ensure that you crack the Buffalo Bandits sooner than later?
I just got to work on my ankle. I kind of messed it up in the season there in major, but once I get that fixed, we're just working on strength and just getting bigger to kind of play my game.
All right, well, best of luck on this journey to the pros.
Thank you.
All right, Mike Melnichenko, the newest member of the Buffalo Bandits.
With the 50th selection, the Colorado Mammoth select Mike Crampton from Air Force Academy. The Toronto Rock are on the clock.
And taking time out of his very busy schedule right now, Mr. Gubbett, your team is up right now selecting a draft pick, so thanks so much for stopping by. But so far, what do you think of the early picks for the Colorado Mammoth?
For the Mammoth, it was a great event. We didn't have maybe as many as some other teams decided to take, but we went with quality. We drafted the top left-hander in the draft. We drafted the top defenseman in the draft, and we drafted the top goaltender in the draft. So when you can address three positions like that, we're pretty happy.
Zach Rogers, kind of a sleeper pick. A lot of guys didn't know him until the Combine camp. Is that where you guys first discovered him, or did you have him on the radar for a while?
No, we've known Zach for a while. He's got some connections to the Kroenke Sports Organization, and we sent him up to Langley to play, and Doug Locker and I kind of conspired to help the kid out, and it was a cool opportunity for him. He's a California kid, and you know what? He came out here and he acquitted himself pretty well, and he played for, anytime a kid decides that he's going to leave and go play in Langley from, Providence through California, and he's going to go up and play indoor lacrosse and take that shot, he deserves to get drafted.
You have one of the world's best players, John Grant Jr., and one of the world's best goalies, Dylan Ward. How do you put all that together to go on a championship run this year? What pieces are you missing?
Well, we're pretty excited about where Dylan Ward ended the season last year. We think our defense was better towards the end of the year, and we thought we could make it even bigger and stronger. And, I think you get underrated guys like Mike Woods and Colin Boucher and some of those guys that we've brought in for our defense, and we're just going to get better. So we're pretty happy with where the defense is shaping up, and obviously adding another quality 30% goal scorer in Eli McLaughlin, I think we've got a pretty good opportunity.
I've talked about this guy a lot, Dan Carey, former player. You've now added him to the scouting staff. Talk about a guy like that. He brings a lot of lacrosse smarts to the table.
Dan Carey is one of the good guys in our game, and we loved him as a player. And it's unfortunate that his career got drawn short with concussion issues, but we love him. He's a friend of the organization, and now to have him work with us, I'm I got 4 guys on our staff that won a championship in 2006 with the Colorado Mammoth, and it's like going home. So it's fun to work with these guys.
Well, we wish you all the best in 2015, and thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Steve Govett of the Colorado Mammoth.
With the 51st selection, the Toronto Rock select Brady Hasseltine from Brampton. Toronto is on the clock again. With the 52nd selection, the Toronto Rock select Daryl Robertson from Whitby. The Edmonton Rush are on the clock. With the 53rd selection, the Edmonton Rush select Mike DiGiamarlo from Edmonton. The Calgary Roughnecks are now on the clock.
And being joined right now by the newest member of the Edmonton Rush, Mike DiGirolamo. Are we saying that last name correctly?
Yep.
All right, we want to make sure we get it here. A lot of different pronunciations during the Combine camp, but hey, that means you stood out and your name was being called a lot, so it can't be mad at that. What did you think about that Combine camp?
Oh, it was different than I expected, but it was really good. It was run well, and it was a good combine altogether, so it was good.
And do you think that helped your stock in the draft here, or what do you think it did to your chances?
Oh, definitely. I mean, coming into it, I mean, from Alberta, I'm a dark horse. Like, nobody knows me. Nobody really follows Alberta. I'm not from BC or Ontario, so coming here and showing well, I definitely helped my stock.
That Alberta League's really starting to grow. How was your experience there the last year?
It was good. I've played there for the last 4 years, and I mean, this year I had a couple of teammates from 4 years ago get drafted, Mitch McAvoy, and then Pat Henry, who got drafted to the Roughnecks, played against him against the Mounties, and yeah, it's been good. It's definitely competing a lot more than 4 years ago, so we're growing every year that comes by.
And without giving away too many secrets to opposing shooters, what are some of the weaknesses that you need to work on?
I mean, quickness is always there, and then you can always work on your angles, always work on your technical stances. I mean, everything, you can work on everything, so everywhere is able to be worked on.
All right, well, good luck at training camp. We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
With the 54th selection, the Calgary Roughnecks select Andrew Smithstad from Marquette University. The Rochester Nighthawks have the 55th and final selection of the 2014 entry draft. With the 55th and final selection in the 2014 entry draft, the Rochester Nighthawks select Zach Williams from Six Nations. That concludes the 2014 entry draft. Congratulations to all the draftees and our member clubs. Thank you for attending, and thank you for watching online. Have a safe night.
Coach and GM of the Minnesota Swarm, Joe Sullivan. Joe, lots of great pickups for you guys today. Who are you most excited about?
It's tough to say who we're most excited about. Obviously, getting Thompson when we did is great. He's a dynamic player. He's going to just, wow everybody with his stick skills and his ability to get the net and finish. But on the other side of the floor, we picked up McDonald, who's just a big, strong kid that is going to open up the floor. He can set good picks and he can finish, but a real character guy. And then as you go through the draft for us, it was more about picking up characteristic type players with good personalities in the room. So although we had some latter picks in the draft, I think they all fit the needs that we really had to go after to finish our team off.
Did you guys figure that you would end up with Miles Thompson, or did you know who was going to be that third pick?
We didn't know when the trade was made, earlier today that moved Rochester up to the number 2 position. We thought they may try to go after that, but they didn't. They went after, a Noble, and it left us intact with what we wanted to go after and find that player for the right side of the floor.
You guys took a shot on Paxton LaRue. He's focusing on hockey right now. Is that just sort of a shot in the dark, or do you think Pax will make an appearance at the Swarm camp?
Well, he's definitely more than invited. I mean, I did reach out to him to make sure that he knew what our intent was. Hockey's first for him, and we understand that, but we just can't look past, that competitive edge that he would give us if he was able to play with his size, his competitiveness, and obviously he's got some toughness there that everybody knows about. So if it's not this year, maybe it's next year, and if it's meant to be, it will be, but I just couldn't watch him go by.
And to get things back on the winning streak for this year, you guys seem to have all the pieces as of now, but how do you put it all together for this upcoming season?
Well, we are young, and everybody talks about how young we are, but it's been a process in the making. So we're 3 years into this thing. So some of the guys that we drafted in the first round, 3 years ago, have now kind of matured and come into their own, and they're young, 23, 24-year-old guys, but they've done it now. They've lived it. They've had a ton of floor time and playing experience, so they're not rookies anymore. We need them to just to play their game. We need each guy to, understand, what they bring to the table, and they have to bring it every night. It's going to be the small things that are going to be the big difference for us to be able to compete in this league again.
Goaltending's been a little bit of an issue in the past. You guys moved TC, Tyler Carlson out to Edmonton, grabbed Brody McDonald. Who's going to be the starting goaltender? Is that still up in the air?
Well, I think we're going to bring Brody in to be our starter and give him that opportunity. I think he's earned that within the league and paid his dues behind Aaron Bold and learned from a great player there. But he really fits our defense. He's going to allow us to play a different style that's going to be aggressive but not extend ourselves out to give the good shots up. So he's a blocker. He's an athletic guy for a big man. He's got a good first step. So that's all we can ask for with that guy. I mean, his size is going to just help us out a ton.
You were here all weekend, Combine Camp, and then later that night, the awards ceremony. What did you think of that awards ceremony? It was a pretty good night. Seemed like everyone was having a good time.
It was great. It was great to finally get everybody in an atmosphere where their families, their peers can all be there and really recognize, all the commitment that they put in this season. It's just people don't realize just how much time people put in, and then they've also got to do typically a 9-to-5 job as well. So it's great that they get to share that experience with their families and friends and get recognized.
Well, kudos to you and your scouting staff. You grabbed a lot of good players this year, and best of luck in 2015.
Thanks very much.
Joe Sullivan, coach and GM of the Minnesota Swarm. And we're with Steve Dietrich of the Buffalo Bandits. And Steve, quite a day for you guys today. What did you think of your pickups in the draft?
I like it. I think you can look by who we took. That we were trying to address the left offensive side. I think we took 4 of them. So I like who we got. A lot. I'm sure every general manager will tell you a lot of the guys that we took we didn't think would be there. But we're real excited about the guys we got.
Anyone who you expect to crack the lineup right away, or do you think it's a work in progress?
It's always a work in progress. We have a pretty good team. I think we're more indicative of our 8-2 start than we were the way we finished. So we have a good team, but spots are open. All those guys can come to camp. We have obviously high hopes for all of them. Maybe a little bit more Brandon Goodwin because first round pick, but we hope they all can come in and battle for a spot.
As you mentioned, a tough finish. How do you turn that around going into 2015?
Well, I think it's I think the guys it'll be a driving force to push the guys. That close. You can say a crossbar away with 2 minutes left. You can tell that I'm still not over it myself. Toe saved by Matt Vince in overtime. We were that close to get to the championship game. So I think it'll be a driving force for these guys, and we'll be ready.
Cosmo getting up there in age, but is he still the guy for you guys in between the pipes?
Yeah, I may be biased, but I think Anthony's the best goalie in the league. So he finally was back to the way he should play last year. He was our backbone, and for us to be successful, we need him.
Any trades that you're going to make before the season starts, or is that something that you have no idea about?
Yeah, you never say never, but I like the group we have. I'm not looking to actively do anything, but I wasn't actively looking to move Rory Smith until today. So you never know what's going to present itself, but I don't think so.
All right, well, whatever happens, good luck in 2015.
Great. Thanks, Scott. Have a good one.
Steve Dietrich of the Buffalo Bandits. And being joined right now by the GM of the Vancouver Stealth, Doug Locker. And Doug, you had an extremely busy day starting first thing in the morning. When did you realize that that trade was going to go through?
We started some conversations around 11 o'clock last night, and I think probably had it done around 1 o'clock. It was something that we had talked about for a while, but every trade needs a tweak here and there, and we got it done a little after midnight, and pretty exciting.
Was it tough for the Rochester Nighthawks to pull the trigger and let Palace go? Did you have to work with them a lot?
No, I think it obviously was a tough thing because it's an emotional decision, especially with a guy like Johnny, and what he's meant to that organization and the deep roots he's got there. But I think at the end of the day, it was an exciting time for Johnny, and he gets to go someplace and be the guy, and we're counting on him to be the guy, and just so thrilled to get him.
So being the guy, is that somebody you're going to try and build your franchise around in the future, or is there a few other guys that you're looking to play that role?
Well, I think if you look at our off season has been really active. I mean, we've been able to pick up guys like Tyler Haas and Tyler Burton in other deals. Dane Stevens came over to us in a trade with Tyler Haas, and today getting Rory Smith and Johnny Powlis and it just Joel McCready. It kind of goes on and on and on. So Johnny, this was going to be Johnny's draft day if he didn't enter 3 years ago. So it's certainly a guy you can build your franchise around because he is so young and so talented.
Two unbelievable players. I want to talk about your captain, though. I got to see him a lot this summer with the Peterborough Lakers, Kyle Sorensen. He was injured for the first half, but came back in full force. You guys seem to have a pretty good relationship out in Vancouver.
We do. I mean, well, Kyle's been with a guy. We drafted Kyle in San Jose, and I've been with the organization since San Jose, and obviously Kyle was with us in San Jose, so we go way back, and he's a guy I bounce a lot of things off of and have a great deal of respect for, and certainly the ultimate competitor, ultimate warrior mentality for Kyle.
Can we expect any more moves from you before the season, or are you pretty set with your squad now?
We're pretty happy, but after today, I kind of hesitate telling you to not pay attention to us. Now, I think we're going to continue to look at all the things we can do to make our franchise better. And last season specifically was a disappointing year for the franchise, something we're certainly not used to. And we felt that this was the opportunity to take a look at rejuvenating some things while not blowing the entire thing up. And we addressed some specific needs prior to today. And then today was a whirlwind day where I think we addressed a lot of other needs and not only got some really good lacrosse players, but got some really good individuals, and that's really important too.
Your home arena, the Langley Event Center, after your first year there, how do you feel playing out of there? I mean, it seems like a world-class event center.
They're a first-class group, and they treat us extremely well. And I think if you noticed today how quickly they got the video up on Johnny this afternoon, they're an amazing group. They work really hard. The facility's top-notch. The Township of Langley has been welcoming us with open arms since we got there a year ago. And I can tell you already, just the comments I've gotten from fans and other people in the area after today's activities has really been a big boost to everybody there.
Well, I think everyone's looking forward to seeing the new and improved 2015 Vancouver Stealth. Good luck next year, Doug.
Thanks so much. Really appreciate it.
Doug Locker of the Vancouver Stealth. Look out for them, folks, in 2015. So being joined right now by the GM of the Rochester Nighthawks, Mike Hasen. We just talked to Doug Locker about this morning's trade. When did you decide that it was a good move to get rid of Palace and get all these draft picks in?
It's Kurt's been thinking about this for a little bit. I guess it's been on the table there for a little while. And it's a decision that Kurt had to make, and it was a tough one. But we did, and like I say, we're getting great value back in Jeremy Noble, and he's going to be a great player here for us moving forward.
Did you guys know as soon as you made the trade it was pretty much for Jeremy Noble when you got that second round pick, or that second overall pick, or did you know who you were going to select?
I think we had hoped that Edmonton was going to go down the path that they said they would, and Jeremy would be available there for us. So that was our hope, and that's what we got, and we're going to move forward with that. So it's going to be good.
Three-time champions. How do you improve this squad? Obviously, there's room for improvement every year, but a lot of people look at your team and say, how can you improve for 2015?
Like I say, moves like this today, bringing in a young guy in Jeremy Noble, who's like I say, who's got a winning pedigree there, and then also getting Jordan Hall there in the trade as well. Replacing Pup is not an easy thing to do, and bringing in Jordan Hall is going to help that cause, and it's going to be up to everybody else to make sure we keep pushing forward. And I say the one good thing about this league, it's always close, and there's really no room to be complacent, and that's we're not going to be either.
Everyone knows defense wins championships, and at the back end, you have one of the best, four-time goaltender of the year award winner, Matt Vince. Talk about his leadership for the Nighthawks.
No, Vino's been, like I say, there's nobody better than Vino. He breeds confidence, in the way he presents himself, and the way he comes on the floor, and the way he is off the floor, and guys feed off that. And everybody's, like I say, it's a good group of characters out there. Everybody's willing to do something for each other, and V will say it best. There's guys that jump in the way of shots and block balls for him to make it easier for him and do a good job. So we got a real good group back there, and like I say, it's not on just V. It's everybody there.
Cody Jamieson, Most Valuable Player. You guys cleaned up on the 2 major awards. Talk about Jammer, and obviously we all know what he brings to the squad, but from a GM perspective, how special a player is he?
No, he's one of the special ones that don't usually come around too often, and he's a guy that obviously is a big deal in our locker room. And again, he's a game breaker. Put the ball on the stick, and he's going to do good things for it. He's going to drive to the net, put the ball in the net, go top side, shoot it, or he's going to make sure he hits that guy that's open and on the far side for us. So he can do a lot of things for us. And then the one thing is he's a big game player, and when the game's on the line, we're going to put the ball on the stick and see what happens.
All right. Well, congratulations on all your moves today and the draft picks, and we wish you the best of luck in 2015.
Thank you.
All right, Mike Hasten of the Rochester Nighthawks. And being joined right now by John Lovell of the Toronto Rock. You guys didn't have too many draft picks, but talk about the guys you did pick up.
Well, we wanted to address some needs offensively. We need a little depth there, so that's why we picked Brandon Ben as a righty and the Robertson boys. I think one is a D guy, but the other is a pretty skilled lefty from Whitby. So, and then we got a Laura kid, which I'm pretty happy with. Brady Heseltine has an outstanding skill set, and another righty. So it's going to really help us with our depth in camp, and hopefully, if these guys are in shape, one of them might crack it.
We'll see what happens. We talked to Garrett Billings earlier. He said he's ready to go. Have you seen him working out, and do you think that he is ready to get back into things at 100%?
If I see Garrett working out, that'll be the first time I've seen it. But, no, I know he is working hard in his rehab, and I'm pretty excited about. From what I've heard, he's way ahead of schedule, so that's a big plus for. That's like making a trade, halfway through the season, getting a top player like that for nothing.
You guys completely stacked your back end in the offseason. Everyone knows defense wins championships. Talk about some of those moves you made this summer.
Well, we had to address some serious concerns we had with our back end, our lack of lefts, our lack of size, and I think we did that in the 3 guys that we acquired. So I wasn't happy with the way we played defense last year for the most part, and in part, we always seem to be hurt at different times by runs, and so hopefully we've got some veteran guys here in our lineup that we are going to mesh with the guys that we do have, and so in some cases our draft kind of took place in some of those moves because we gave up a little bit of our future to acquire those guys, but I think it was an investment that we needed to make because we needed to get better defensively.
Are you guys still shopping around, or are you happy with the way the roster looks?
Well, I don't think Terry would ever be done, and I think there's some tweaking I think we both would like to do, but if we have to start the season with the people that we have, we're pretty happy with that.
All right, well, we wish you all the best in 2015.
Okay, thank you, Scott.
All right, John Lovell of the Toronto Rock. And we're here with Derek Keenan of the Edmonton Rush. You cleaned up at the awards ceremony last night. Talk about how special that was. I mean, you had a great speach mentioning your wife, but it had to be a special moment for you.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice. The individual awards, I kind of touched on it last night, is really a byproduct of the people you work with and the players you obviously have in our organization that give us success. And, it certainly just isn't me there, making draft picks and making moves. It's a group effort, and I have great coaching staff with Jimmy Quinlan and Jeff McComb, and tremendous support from our owner. We built this together, starting 5 years ago, and continued success, I hope, and tremendous support from my family at home, as I mentioned.
Fast forward to tonight, first overall draft pick, you guys grabbed Ben McIntosh. Was there ever any doubt, or did you guys know exactly who you were picking when you made that trade in the summer for that number 1 pick?
I don't think when we made the trade, we had a good idea what our need was, and then certainly I've seen Ben play a lot in the last 4 years, probably since 2010 Minnow Cup, 2010 Minnow Cup out in British Columbia. I saw him play, and my junior club played against him in 11 and 12. So I saw him a lot, and then I watched him a lot this summer online, and he certainly was the guy that I think filled our need.
And do you expect him to crack the roster right away, or does he have a few things to work on still?
I think he's ready to play in the league. I think he's played 2 years now of senior A, high-level college lacrosse. Great junior career, has always performed well in playoffs, which I think is important in our league because on a short schedule like we have, it's almost a playoff game every week. So every game's important. He's performed well under pressure, so I think he's ready to play in the league.
Record-breaking regular season last year, but a tough postseason. How do you bounce back from that, and what do you need to improve on to keep the regular season rolling when you do get into the postseason?
I wouldn't change a thing. I mean, it's not like we're going to try to lose a couple early and peak at the right time. And I think anybody who says that is probably being a little bit less than truthful. So, we'll do things the same. I mean, I think the learning experience in and of itself is probably enough to get us over that hump. This group, although young, do have a lot of experience and have been there now a few times, and certainly pretty well all of them have won championships at different levels. So that experience from last year, I think, will really help us. And we did a good job all year of kind of living in the moment and moving on from things. In the playoff series, I thought we probably strayed away from that a little bit. So we'll learn from it and have the success this year, hopefully.
The West is really improving. I mean, you guys are stacked. And then Vancouver, huge deal this morning to bring over Johnny Pallas. Did that surprise you at all when you heard of that move?
Yeah, well, it did, because I hadn't heard at all that that Rochester were in play on that second pick. I know that it was kind of up there with Vancouver. We're looking at some different options, but I didn't hear Rochester at all. Johnny, he's a great player. Him moving from Rochester is a little. I didn't expect that, but I thought a great trade for Vancouver, because I think they needed to really get better now, and perhaps maybe with the second pick that wasn't going to happen. But with adding him and McCready as well, as a really accomplished player he's a gritty guy, he's tough, and I thought they did a good job there. Gave up, a lot down the road, but they got better, so our division is tougher now.
Goaltending, talked about the move you guys made this summer, sending Brody McDonald in the Minnesota Swarm and grabbing Tyler Carlson. Boldy's still the guy, though, right? Or is that goaltending position up in the air?
No, I mean, he's a proven starter in our league. We would like to get Tyler some work this year, though. I thought that we really wanted to last year with Brody, but we were going so well and we weren't giving up a lot, and Aaron was solid every game. Brody got in a couple games, and in fact, one in Vancouver, we were down 6 or 7 goals. He came in and closed the door, and we came back and won. But we'd like to get Tyler some work, and I think it'll help Aaron too in the end with a little bit of time off, especially on back-to-backs. And we drafted a good young goalie too with Adam Shute. He's an Alberta kid who 2 years of senior A experience. Tremendous junior career in Okotoks. He played against my junior team in the 2011 semi and really put a scare into us. He made 65 saves. We only beat them 9-5, I think, and so he can play. He's a good goalie. So we like him too for a depth guy, and we think we're pretty strong there.
Well, congratulations on all your great picks today, and we wish you all the best in 2015.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
All right, Derek Keenan of the Edmonton Rush. And we're being joined now by Kurt Milosky of the Calgary Roughneckers. Pretty good draft day for you guys, picking up the biggest player in the draft, Tyson Rowe.
Yeah, 6'10", and he lists at 250, so you can't really teach that size, obviously, and we're hoping that we can put some game into him. And he moved really well at the combine, and he showed well. He made some great open floor hits. It shows his timing is really, really solid, and he handles the ball well for a big man too. So that was important that we could try to get someone to eat up some space in the middle of our defense. And we did some research on him on a character check, and we heard he's a really good kid too. So we're excited to have him part of the organization.
Do you think he's ready to crack the lineup right away, or is there a few things that he needs to work on over the winter?
Well, obviously fitness is going to be a big thing. Like for a big man like that, I can imagine it. Carrying all that weight and that size around, you're going to have to make sure yourself is real fit. And we got a good exhibition schedule. He's going to get himself into a couple exhibition games, so he'll get to play against some pro NLL guys and some top level competition. So at the end of the day, it'll be up to him. There's an opportunity for him there, absolutely. So he fits into the cap wise for us as well, being a rookie salary. So all that stuff kind of ties in for us. And if he shows well, there's a spot.
Tough loss last year to Rochester in the finals. How do you guys bounce back from that? Is it a new season, new day, or is there still a sour taste in your mouth?
I would be lying if I didn't say every day that I think about it. The losing in that game in 2 minutes and 14 seconds left kind of fell apart. And, I don't know our guys feel the same way. But no means are we feeling sorry for ourselves. Guys are just jumping right back on and using that as motivation. When you come that close and you can taste the championship, those couple minutes away, I think it just fuels you. And I know with the character group that we have, and that was a big part of why we didn't pick up any other guys. We like what we have in our room, and we really like the compete level that our guys have. And we know that, that everyone's going to say unfinished business when you don't win. But being so close, I think it's really going to motivate and drive our group, and I'm sure they're excited to have another shot at it as a family again. So it's going to be good for the Roughnecks this year.
Talk to the Rochester Nighthawks. They loved the mini games, probably because they were on the winning side. Did that make you hate the mini games, or did you still think it was exciting?
No, I think it was exciting. We're on the good side of it against Edmonton, and then we're on the bad side of it against Rochester. But I think the league's made a change now, so the championship series is going to be 2 or 3. So again, I thought from the years previous, you got more of a true champion playing that two game home and home and having that little mini game. So I thought that was closer to being a 2 champion. But now you're going to have a 2 or 3 in the final, and I think you're going to even more of a champion. So I think the best teams will definitely win, and I thought Rochester was the best team last year, and kudos to them.
And you guys have so many snipers on the offensive end, but who are some of the sleepers that we should probably look out for this year stepping up for you guys?
We might run Carson Leung a little bit out the front door, and we're not changing a lot of our offensive personnel up front. So we're expecting big things from Schattler, and obviously we got Dane and Evie and Dixon. So those are the usual suspects that we got. So we didn't really go draft any offensive guys, but there's an opportunity for a guy like Marty Dinsdale, and there's a couple street free agents that we've been in contact with. So we'll bring them into camp, and there's an opportunity for them to step in the lineup and earn their time. So there is a spot available on the right side up front, and someone can step in and grab that. Whether it be Marty, whether it be the free agents, that'd be real good for us.
All right, well, thanks for taking the time, and good luck in 2015.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
All right, Kurt Milosky of the Calgary Roughnecks. And we're being joined right now by a man who had a very busy weekend, MC last night at the NLL Awards, and then a big part of tonight as the interview man, I guess, after they got drafted. Claude Fagg, what was your thoughts on everything this weekend?
Well, it was certainly busy, that's for sure. I mean, the awards were great because it's a first time, and so you acknowledge that these players are the star players of your league, but you actually get to show them in person as opposed to just sending them an email and say, hey, congratulations, you just won MVP or whatever the award was. So I thought it was great. I think everybody was happy with the first time of having everybody in the room. And, this, like anything else, it'll grow, and hopefully it'll get bigger and better. And as far as the draft tonight, I mean, it started off with a bang this morning with the Vancouver trade, picking up Johnny Pallas. And so from there, it was, okay, what's the next team going to do? And then we saw Philadelphia/New England trade Jody Holloway. And so you had that. But a lot of draft picks being moved. And in talking to a lot of the GMs and coaches tonight, given the fact that the rosters are smaller, there's only 9 teams. They can't take everybody. They just don't have enough room for all these guys. So they're better off at some points just trading the picks away for future years and just sticking with the guys they have, maybe draft 1 or 2 guys that they actually think can make the team. So it's become a lot more competitive for the players on the team, but it's also what it's done is it's made the GMs and coaches work harder because they have to make that pick count. Or otherwise, you're just going to basically throw it away because there just isn't room for all the players.
New England Black Wolves, their logo was just unveiled earlier in the week. What did you think of that when they unleashed it?
It looks nice. I mean, it's a fresh start for the franchise, and I know the Wings were the oldest team in the NLL, and unfortunately the fan base there just had kind of eroded. It's a big arena in Philadelphia, there's no doubt, but at one time they were filling that place in the old Spectrum too. So, but I like the logo, and I think the move there hopefully will be a positive one for the franchise. Apparently the seating capacity is much like in Rochester at Blue Cross, about just under 10,000, which might be good. And all things positive on Twitter certainly, and of course we know we all live on the social media now. All the positive signs about the new logo and the new name, and so pretty exciting times in New England. And by all accounts, they did pretty well tonight, picking up some of the players that they picked up, and then of course making some trades as well. So they're definitely in a rebuild mode, but I think their biggest selling point maybe for the first couple of years will be the logo and the new location.
Somebody who's not in a rebuilding mode, the back-to-back-to-back champions, the Rochester Nighthawks, you were fortunate enough to call those games in the championship last year. I've talked to the players, coaches, GMs about how exciting that mini game was as a player, but as an announcer, how exciting was that to call that game, being on the edge of your seat, I'm sure?
No question, because I had been in 2 other finals broadcasting in Canada and the U.S. as the sideline reporter, so even there, you can sense the momentum, you can sense the enthusiasm, the energy, everything. It's great especially when you're right between the 2 benches, and in lacrosse, they don't like each other very much, so you hear a lot of chirping and all that stuff. But when you're upstairs, and the beauty about Blue Cross Arena is that it's not that far up from the floor, so you almost feel like you're right in with the fans, and you really can feel the energy as opposed to being in some places where the box is way up top. So that was nice. But the fact that the games were so exciting, we thought Calgary had that second game won, and then Rochester just turned it on. Dan Dawson just caught fire. And then in the mini game, it was so tight, and it went down to the end, and Matt Vince stood on his head, and it was exciting to call. There's no question. That was my first time calling a final, and it was very exciting. And you know, the games went right down to the wire. That's the way you want it. You don't want to see a blowout game in the final, that's for sure. So, you know, we've been pretty privy in the games that I've done the last 2 years where the games literally did go down to the wire. And so that's what the fans want. I mean, that's the exciting part about sport. You don't want to blow a game like we saw in the Super Bowl or something. You want to see a close game. And so to call it was even more exciting.
Well, hopefully we see some more exciting games like that. Talk to Kurt Malosky, the playoff format changing a little bit, but it still should be exciting. So much parity in the league as we get set for the 2015 season. Thanks so much, Claude, for dropping by.
My pleasure, anytime.
And being joined right now by Andy McNamara. You were, I guess, doing not the play-by-play. I don't know what they call it when you're doing the draft here, but on the microphone anyway.
Yeah, hosting, I suppose, something, but quite a draft, as we saw throughout tonight. A ton of talent, and really that, as I mentioned throughout the draft, the parity in this 2014 draft. I think we're going to see the greatest competition in training camp that we've seen in some time. True competition, not the buzzword, oh yeah, that guy's going to be a depth guy. We saw players ranked 15th, 16th, 17th going in the 4th, 5th, and 6th rounds. It's going to be tremendous across the league.
We all woke up this morning to some huge news. Talk about what was going through your mind when you heard that the Rochester Nighthawks pulled the trigger on Johnny Powless.
Wow. Johnny Powless, you look at that Rochester team, the three-peat, and Johnny Powless has to be right there with the reasons how they did that. But Powless is a guy, 21, and Steven said earlier, this technically would have been his draft year. And he's been 3 years, 3 championships, and now he moves on. I think Powless is at a stage where he wants to be the guy, wants to be the man, and with Cody Jamieson in Rochester, that just wasn't going to happen. But Powless, heck of a talent, my goodness. With Rochester, they're able to pick up some high-end draft picks and kind of rebuild from that standpoint. So a good move on both sides, but to lose Johnny, that's tough. That's tough. I was surprised.
And you talk about Johnny wanting to be the guy. We talked to Doug Locker before you, and he said that Johnny Powless will be the guy out there, so a good assumption there. We'll see how he does. I think it's a good fit. You're doing the play-by-play when the season starts for the Toronto Rock, and they didn't have a lot of picks in today's draft, but what can fans expect from them this year, do you think?
Well, I think the Rock didn't really need to because of their off-season moves. You bring in Brody Merrill, Brock Sorensen, Jeff Gilbert. You don't need young bodies when you have talent like that. They already have a veteran crew, and you look at young fast forwards like Rob Hellier still going there, Jesse Gamble on the transition. So they have a bit of that youth side, and the Toronto Rock, and I tweeted it out when it happened, they're making a statement that they want to be Champions Cup winners this year, without a doubt. Because you make moves like that, that is a move for the now, not like you see the New England Black Wolves who had a lot of draft picks and are looking to build for the future. The Rockers saying, we want to do it this year. You add that type of talent, wow.
Yeah, we're looking forward to the 2015 season. Should be a hard-fought training camp. We know you got to get on the road. It's been a busy day for you. We appreciate you taking the time.
Oh, anytime. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, Andy McNamara, you can hear his voice in the upcoming season. Maybe even see a little bit of him, too. They might even show him on camera there. We'll see what happens, but we'll have to stay tuned. Looking forward to the 2015 NLL season. And we're being joined now by Steven Stamp, who had the honor of being co-host today with Andy McNamara. And quite the draft, a lot of surprises, a lot of shockers. You, of course, had the mock draft released on IL Indoor. How did that go for you? Were you right on?
Started out pretty well, and then things fell apart. It was a lot of surprises. The Powless trade made a big difference, really had some trickle-down effect. Some teams getting guys later than we thought they would, but a lot of changes. There were a lot of surprises, and the trades really were the driving engine of that.
We've talked about Johnny Powless a lot, so I won't beat a dead horse there by bringing him up again. But besides that news, what was the biggest surprise for you today?
I think Rory Smith getting traded from Buffalo, where he's been, such a solid defensive guy, out to Vancouver. Of course, the word is that he's moving out to the West Coast, so that makes a big difference. And that's a big one. Adds a lot to Vancouver, that toughness. And they were looking for a lefty defender, obviously, and you can't get a much better one available than Rory Smith.
And what team do you think came out the best with their picks today?
you know, that's so hard to judge right after a draft. It's hard not to go with a team that had about 10 or 11 picks. In New England, they got added a lot of talent. A lot of guys are going to go and compete for jobs in camp, I'd say, in New England. But I think you also have to look at a team like Vancouver that got some good draft picks, but, you know, you have to include Powless and Joel McCready in their draft. And when you do that, it's an awfully good set of players they've added.
You and I were both at the Combine. A lot of guys really shone. Do you think anybody really improved their stock by standing out hardcore in that Combine draft?
I think a few guys did. I think Conrad Chapman definitely was very impressive there and moved up. I think as a West Coast guy, I'm sure Vancouver had their eyes on him anyway, but he could only help his stock. Brandon Cleland, we were very impressed with, an energy guy all over the floor. I think he brought a lot to the Combine. I think a few other guys, I think Pat Henry is another guy that we saw snipe from a few different ways, and you know that certainly helps make a team when they're looking at a late pick and a guy who's, you know, maybe not likely to make the team anyway. Why not go with a guy who's just had a really good performance and shown something that maybe he can repeat when he comes to your camp and tries to make your team?
And it is early. We haven't even started training camp yet, but Steven Stamp, who is your pick to win it all? Version 1, we'll call it.
Version 1, I'm going to go with the Edmonton Rush. I picked them last year. They went 16-2, lost in the Western Conference Finals in a heartbreaking fashion. I just think they're such a complete team, and they're a young team that's going to come back with lots of energy and a real chip on their shoulders to show that they have the ability to win a championship. Right now, that's who I'm thinking.
All right, well, thanks for taking the time, and we look forward to the season.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for for having me on, and it's always fun to talk lax.
And Steven Stamp, you can find all of his great writing at ilindoor.com. And in an exciting 2014 National Lacrosse League entry draft, lots of surprises. Top 3 weren't so much a surprise. We knew, or figured anyway, that it was going to be Ben McIntosh, Jeremy Noble, and Miles Thompson in that order. But what we did not figure was Rochester Nighthawks having that second overall pick. Of course, trading away Johnny Powless to get that pick. And you heard Mike Hayson say that they knew they wanted Jeremy Noble. So much parity in this league right now. Everyone looking forward to the 2015 season. So much excitement around this arena. So many excited kids as well. It was amazing to be a part of this draft, and every GM thinks they're a contender this year, and it is very tough to pick. We just talked earlier to Steven Stamp for his early predictions. He's going with Edmonton, but I mean, I can't even decide who I would pick right now. Everybody just made some huge moves today at the draft. Not a lot of guys to choose from quality-wise, but a few sleepers I think are going to come out and prove themselves at training camp, and you will see quite a few of these guys crack the NLL rosters in the next couple of years. Well, that'll do it for us here at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. I'm Scott Arnold. On behalf of the entire JVI crew, thanks for tuning in to the 2014 National Lacrosse League Entry Draft.